Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing you another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Jazwares Inverted Skull Trooper. Now, Jazwares has made a couple different versions of the Skull Trooper already. Typically, they're predominantly black with a white skeleton in the center, and this guy is the opposite, hence the name Inverted Skull Trooper. This guy is predominantly white with a black skeleton in the middle. So let's go ahead and check out the packaging here. As you can see, Epic Games, Fortnite, ages 8+, Legendary Series, and that means these are the 6-inch scale figures, not the smaller 4-inch scale. Skull Trooper inverted, 40 points of articulation, and 8 pieces. So as you can see in the package, he's got 3 different faces, a back bling, a boogie bomb, and a couple guns and a pickaxe. One side says Fortnite, got the Skull Trooper posed up. Other side, pretty much the same thing. At the bottom, there is a barcode in case that helps anybody, as well as a bunch of credits. Then in the back, here he is, posed up. Victory runs bone deep. And here are several other Jazwares Fortnite Legendary figures you should track down. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I did end up getting 3 of these figures. You may wonder why I need so many. Well, when they first released a Skull Trooper, I got 4 of them, so I could double them up for Scarecrow henchmen in my Batman world, as well as my Fortnite collection. Then they made the next Skull Trooper, and I did the same. So I'm going to keep that trend going. The store had 3 of them, and I wiped them out. Hopefully, I'll find a 4th one by the time I actually get around to finishing this video. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He does come with 2 alternate faces, totaling 3 interchangeable faces, a tactical shotgun, a compact SMG or P90, a boogie bomb, and then he has the skull sickle harvesting tool, or more commonly referred to as a pickaxe, and the grinning ghoul back bling. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's take a look at the actual figure. So here's the inverted Skull Trooper. It's basically the regular Skull Trooper, but backwards. White where the black is, and black where the white is. You can see, instead of a traditional white skeleton, it's black in the middle, and the rest of it is all in white. Should be the exact same mold, different accessories. He looks pretty cool. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Overall, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I do prefer the regular look, but this is a nice breath of fresh air. And I did end up tracking down a 4th figure. These things are all over the place at Target and Amazon right now. Here are all 4 of them with their accessories laid out. And here are all 4 of the figures, broken down as far as they can go, with all their accessories laid out. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his faces. So he has 3 different faces, each one has a different expression. Here's his first face. This one has a more or less normal expression, but some pretty intense eyes. Here's his second face. He's got one eyebrow cocked up, like he's up to something. And then, here's his third face. This is the expression you'd have when there's a rocket coming right toward you and there's nothing you can do about it. And here are all 3 of his faces at the same time. Now let's look at his back bling. This is called a grinning ghoul. It's essentially a backpack that looks like a smiling skull. It's got a yellow zipper for the teeth. Looks pretty cool if you ask me. Here's a Skull Trooper wearing his back bling. You can't really tell from the front, but if you spin him around, there it is. Here are several different Jazwares figures wearing each other's back blings, showing you they're interchangeable and customizable between each of the figures, just like in the game. And if you wanted to take it one step further, unfortunately the McFarlane and Jazwares lines back blings are not interchangeable with each other. If you were to take a McFarlane figure and a Jazwares back bling, the peg is just too thick and it will not fit. And in turn, if you were to take a Jazwares figure and a McFarlane back bling, it would fit, but the peg is so thin it'll just fall right back out. Now let's look at his harvesting tool, or pickaxe. This is called the skull sickle. It's pretty much just like a big bone in the shape of a sickle. You can see the black bones in the middle, the white on the outside. Matches very nice with the inverted Skull Trooper. Here's a Skull Trooper holding his pickaxe, and he hears a noise behind him, decides to find out what it is, chops through the wall. Not only did he figure out what that noise was, he exposed a chest behind the wall, but he also gained some brick along the way. And it looks like he found a tactical shotgun, some boogie bombs, and a med kit from the chest. And then just like the back blings, The pickaxes are interchangeable between the Jazwares line, and unlike the back blings, the pickaxes are interchangeable between the McFarlane and Jazwares lines, just adding to your different options. Now let's look at his guns. He comes with both the tactical shotgun at the top and the P90 or compact SMG on the bottom. Here's the Jazwares tactical shotgun on the top, next to the McFarlane tactical on the bottom. Here are all the different shotguns that Jazwares has made in their Fortnite Legendary collection. We've got the tactical shotgun, the heavy shotgun, the double barrel shotgun, the drum shotgun. These three are all pump shotguns. This top one here came with the weapons pack. It can actually pump. This is a regular pump shotgun from Season 1, and this is a pump shotgun from Season 2. Then we have the combat shotgun. And here it is next to all the different McFarlane Fortnite shotguns. We've got the Jazwares tac, McFarlane tac. This is the McFarlane Spaz, which is an epic or legendary pump. Then we've got the heavy and the double barrel. Here's the Jazwares compact SMG on the top, next to the McFarlane compact on the bottom. The McFarlane compact is way too big, even for their own line. Here are all the SMGs that Jazwares has made. We've got the tactical SMG, compact SMG, suppressed SMG, and then both these down here are simply called submachine gun. And here it is next to the McFarlane SMGs. We've got their version of the compact, and then the McFarlane Burst SMG. Here's the Skull Trooper holding the tactical shotgun. He can use his right hand to the trigger and his left hand to support the barrel. And here he is holding the P90. He can also use both hands to hold this gun. And even though it's not game accurate, if you want him to hold both weapons at the same time, that is no problem. And his last accessory is a throwable item. It's called a Boogie Bomb, but instead of exploding, it'll cause your opponent to dance. You can throw this at somebody, it'll make him dance for 3 or 4 seconds, and he can't shoot while he's doing that, giving you a good chance to kill him. Since dancing is such a big part of the game, this weapon is very appropriate in Fortnite. As you can see, it looks pretty good. At the top, it's got a pin, and then the bottom, sort of like a disco ball. Here's a Skull Trooper getting ready to throw the Boogie Bomb at somebody. And since I got 4 of these guys, I can easily have them hold more than one Boogie Bomb at a time. And here are all the throwable items in the Jazwares collection. Now let's check them out with some other vehicles and accessories you can use to enhance these Jazwares figures. Here they are, riding a McFarlane Quad Crasher. Even though this Quad Crasher is intended for a slightly larger scale of figures, it works pretty good with these guys. The pegs on the back even fit the peg holes on their feet. And then, in a McFarlane shopping cart. Now let's check him out next to McFarlane's glider and launchpad combo set. Here he is with it fully assembled. Here's a Skull Trooper jumping off a launchpad, getting ready to launch up and glide away. Here he is using the McFarlane glider. He looks very nice on this thing. Now here he is next to a chest. This chest is also by Jazwares, but is intended for the smaller 4-inch scale figures. You may wonder, how could it possibly be for the smaller figures if it's too large with the 6-inch figures? Well, this wasn't exactly meant to be scale accurate. It was basically an accessory pack. You'd buy this chest, open it up, and it has some building material and some guns. But since chests are such a huge part of the game, I was very happy to have a chest that at least remotely scales up with the figures. Here's a Skull Trooper opening up a loot llama. Obviously this llama is not from McFarlane or Jazwares, as it's simply a stuffed animal. But that crazy pink llama head has become a staple for the game, and I'm happy to have one for the figures. Here are a bunch of Fortnite accessories that came with previous Jazwares figures. They will all work great for this guy. And finally, here he is holding a can of spray paint, getting ready to tag the wall behind him, just like in the game. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his accessories, and some other accessories you can use for him, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's sitting at about 6.0 inches tall, which can translate to a hair over 15 centimeters. Now let's look at his articulation. Start with his head here. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up about that far, which is pretty nice, down about that far. Can't really tilt or do anything else. Shoulders on a ball joint, you can hear sort of ratcheting into place with the different segments. Goes out more than 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest area, just increasing that range of motion there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. His wrist here it can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Then he has finger articulation to hold his weapons, and sometimes to not hold them. He's got a ball joint in his torso, can rotate from side to side, can also go in and out a little bit. Traditional waist swivel below that. Legs on ball joints, they go out about this far. Forward, about that much. Back, about like that. He's got a thigh cut below that. Double jointed knees. Then his ankle here goes up, down, can tilt and rock, and there's toe articulation. Now let's check them out next to some of their action figures, starting off with some of their Jazwares Fortnite figures. Here are all 4 of the inverted Skull Troopers I got. I got them to use as both the inverted Skull Trooper in my Fortnite collection, and they're also going to double up as Scarecrow henchmen in my Batman world. Here's the inverted Skull Trooper next to the Series 1 Purple Skull Trooper release. Then, next to the later black and white classic Skull Trooper release, this guy is truly the opposite of the inverted Skull Trooper. And here he is next to both of the McFarlane Skull Trooper releases. We've got these classic Skull Trooper and the Green Glow Skull Trooper. Now let's take a look at all of my Skull Trooper figures. I started out by getting 4 of the original McFarlane Skull Trooper release. They make for some great Scarecrow henchmen. And then I got 4 of each subsequent release. And now I have a total of 20 of these guys. And there are even more variations they can make. Here are the most recently released Jazwares Fortnite figures in the Legendary 6-inch scale. The next 2 I'm trying to get are Recruit Jonesy and Dark Voyager. They're on their way and I should have them soon. And here he is next to the new, larger 7-inch scale Brawlers. And here's the previous batch of Fortnite Jazwares figures. And here is the entire Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Collection. Can't wait for some more. And here he is with the entire McFarlane Fortnite Collection. And here are all the Fortnite figures that I bought multiples of. You may ask yourself, why so many? Well, I got all 4 of the different wild cards for the Royal Flush Gang in my DC action figure world. I got 4 of each of the Skull Troopers for Scarecrow henchmen in my Batman world. I got 2 crack shots for Toyman henchmen in my DC world. And then I got 4 Rabbit Raiders and 4 Night Hares for Mad Hatter henchmen in my Batman world. And here they are in a huge battle royale with all of my Fortnite figures. As you can see, they're all shooting at each other, driving, launching explosives, healing, gliding, getting loot, trying to see who can get the most kills, and more importantly, who can get the win. So I mentioned earlier using him as a Scarecrow henchman in my Batman world. Here he is next to all my different Scarecrow figures. And here are a couple other figures I use for Scarecrow henchmen. These are some Arkham Knight Scarecrow henchmen. And these Marvel Jack-o'-lantern figures also fit the Scarecrow henchman build very nicely. Now let's check them out next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Here he is with some SH Figure Arts action figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here, with some Makevex figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here, with some NECA figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, next to some McFarlane toys. And finally, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. So overall, this is a pretty cool action figure. I must confess, I do prefer the other Skull Trooper versions to this one. This is actually my least favorite of the 5 different Skull Troopers that I have. But he's still pretty cool for what he is. I'm happy I'm going to be able to double him up for both my Batman action figure world and my Fortnite collection. Overall, if I were to rate this guy, I'd probably give him a 6.5 out of 10. He's just not as good as the black with the white skeleton Skull Trooper, at least in my opinion. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.